I feel like I've fallen prey to the modernized and glamorized idea of spirituality. As an ever-evolving human, looking back at my older practices and videos, I've realized that spirituality, although most social media depictions go against this, isn't about how many crystals you have or what specific candles you use or how many meditations you do in a day. It is less about the how, the what, and the where, and more about the why. Your intention sets your entire spiritual practice up. I've definitely found that I do love my crystals and all of my little trinkets, but moving to Tulum and not bringing anything with me for the sake of convenience and minimalism has shown me how little our external has to do with spirituality. Let me share with you what I've learned.
Hello my loves, welcome back to another video. I hope you're having an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching this. If you're new here, welcome to the family. I am so happy to have you here. Today we are doing a spiritual journey video, how to kickstart your spiritual journey. So let's get right into it. Tip number one is listen to your body. And this kind of goes for everything in life, but starting a spiritual journey or even just starting a self-love or self-worth or just reconnecting to your body, your mind, your soul kind of journey, it really just starts with you at your core. And your body is your vessel. It's what carries you from birth to death and whatever happens after. So it's really important that you build a really strong connection with your body because your body is the one thing that is there for you forever. I myself went through an eating disorder for about 8 years and I was extremely disconnected between my mind and my body. And only recently in the past couple years have I found ways to reconnect with my body. It really bridges that gap and helps you connect with your soul as well. So listening to your body is my number one tip. If you take anything out of this video, please take this tip. Truly, once I started stepping back, putting my ego to the side and not even listening to what my brain was telling me, and I just asked my body, what do I need in this moment? What do I feel like in this moment? This goes for food, nourishment, books, TV shows, planning, events, whatever it is. I really just take a step back, I close my eyes, or I can sit down on a meditation cushion or on a couch or on the floor, whatever it is, and literally just asking myself internally or out loud if you want to, what do I need right now? And it's kind of hard at first to gauge what your body is saying. Truly just trust in this process because your brain will kind of get in the way and you want to make sure you're pushing that all to the side and just truly centering yourself, grounding yourself. Doing a meditation before really helps, but once you get into the emotion of it, it gets pretty easy. And it's also really truly about listening. It's just such a nice experience to realize that your body truly cares about you. Your body has so many little systems that work so hard for you every single day, and it's truly time that you start listening to it because it has so much innate wisdom and it's just waiting for you to open your eyes and your ears and absorb it. My second tip for starting your spiritual journey is releasing energy, and this can be in a variety of different ways. My personal favorite is movement. So for spirituality and just in general, really grounding yourself and feeling into your body and connecting with your body, it is important to do any sort of movement. This can be dance, which is a favorite of mine. This can be yoga, stretching. For me, I never felt truly connected when I stepped onto my mat until my second yoga teacher training, when I kept showing up for myself. When I get on the mat, I feel truly connected to source and time kind of flies by. I don't pay attention to the clock or anything. I just move my body how it wants to be moved, and it opens up this innate wisdom and sense of knowing and sureness and this quality that I am on the right path, which is why I adore yoga so much. But you can get that same feeling from whatever you like, whatever feels best for you. So if that feeling comes up from you dancing, dance your heart out, right? We are so unique and different and individual, so what works for me may not work for you, and that's okay. My third tip is releasing your mental energy, and your mental energy plays a big part in your spiritual journey and the way you carry yourself day to day. If your mind is cluttered, you are going to be walking around with a heavy heart. You are going to feel like your brain is foggy and you're unsure of your decisions and what steps to take. So it's really important that you take the time to truly clear up that mental space and give yourself the capacity to do the things you love. A really great way to cleanse that mental energy and clear your space is journaling. So there are a couple different types of journaling. The first one, my personal favorite, mind dump. This can take literally 30 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, it can be 20 minutes if you want, but I don't think I've ever done a 20-minute mind dump. And that is just waking up or maybe right before going to bed and just putting all of your thoughts onto paper. It can be the silliest thing you've ever written. It can be, I'm hungry, I want this. But the more that you get into a routine of just dumping your thoughts onto the page, first of all, you're allowing these thoughts to release and they're not carrying whatever heaviness it is around you anymore. And second of all, you become more connected to not only yourself, but to source. Because every single day, the more that you put your thoughts into these pages, the more connected you will be, the more understanding you will be of what you're feeling. So it's a really, really awesome practice, and it, like I said, can take little to no time. The other ways are manifesting, which I have manifested a lot of different things, and it's just a really nice freeing practice. It also really helps build your confidence and allows you to dig deeper into why you want to manifest certain things and why you would like certain things in your life, and then that way you can attract them as well. But there's tons of different ways to manifest, so I can make a different video on that if you want. Another way is simply just little prompts. There are tons of journal prompts everywhere on the internet, and I can even include some accounts that I really like down below. The best kind of prompt is just whatever you're thinking of, but if you need some guidance, there are tons and tons everywhere. There are super easy ones like energy takers and energy givers of the week or that day. I think that one is from Sophia Kelly. And then there are other ones like, what are you grateful for? What is your plan today? What is something that you want to improve on? What has been holding you back this week? You know, there are tons and tons of questions that you can ask yourself and just see what comes up for you. My next tip goes right hand in hand with journaling, and it is gratitude. Gratitude is such an important key factor of beginning a spiritual journey, because gratitude opens so many doorways, and it is just such an amazing slash humbling slash eye-opening experience, and it is truly so beautiful, and I feel like everyone needs to practice gratitude no matter what. When I first started gratitude journaling, I had no idea what I was doing. I was very depressed. I was in a dark place. I had my eating disorder, and the best thing that I could say was, I am grateful that I'm breathing. And although that's just the best I could come up with, that is such a huge blessing that I'm breathing, I'm here, I'm alive. And you can find so many things like that. I have a roof over my head, I have clothes. If you're watching this, you probably have an electronic device. There are so many beautiful things in this world. Gratitude just can truly change your life, and it is such a large part of going deeper and connecting to source. My next tip is reactivity, and this may not seem like a spiritual tip, but let me explain. The easiest way I can describe this is when you're in, for example, a fight with someone, whether that's a romantic relationship, a family relationship, a friendship, whatever it is, taking a step back and asking yourself, why am I reacting like this? Also understanding where the other person is coming from, understanding that their point of view is theirs, and they are trying to share it with you, regardless if they're yelling, regardless if things are happening. Take a step back and realize that you are both human. You are both going through different things. Chances are that whatever emotions that are running high are negative emotions. All negative emotions are rooted in fear. So whether that's jealousy, anger, sadness, that is all rooted in fear. And it may not seem like it, but if you think back to any situation, I guarantee it is rooted in fear. And once you realize that the two big emotions in life are fear and love, it makes it impossible not to choose love. And I'm not saying that you never get angry, you never get sad. I think that it's so important to feel these emotions and sit with them and deepen your understanding of what you're going through and allow yourself to move through these emotions. But the basis is you always return back to love, because that is the source's power. That is what grounds you and energizes you and fills you up and lights you up. So it's really important to remember that your reactivity is such a big part of life, because every day we encounter things that force us to choose between fear and love. And it's just such an amazing feeling once you realize that you are subconsciously choosing love without even thinking about it. Those are a few of my favorite mental tips for starting your spiritual journey. And I'm going to give you some more physical ones just to kind of help that along once you've established those. So my first tip for this one is having an MDR. An MDR is a minimum daily requirement. And the purpose of this is to deepen whatever practice you're wanting to evolve in, and also just playing up the idea of consistency. Consistency is so key in spiritual practices. Although I'm not saying that if you don't do any of this, you're not going to be spiritual. I've definitely had days and even weeks where I haven't done a single quote unquote spiritual thing. And I would say that my spiritual practice is still where I would want it to be. For MDR, for example, I found that I wanted to deepen my yoga practice. And after starting my second yoga teacher training, I realized that I couldn't do that without showing up every day for myself and for my body. So I made an MDR of 1 sun salutation a day. And that might not seem like a lot, but truly it has helped me focus on what I love most about yoga. I show up on the mat every single day, no matter what. And some days I'll do 1 sun sal and then want to do a 45-minute practice. And on other days I'll do my sun sal and then I'll go eat and get on with my day. But it's so nice to consistently be showing up for myself and showing up on my mat, because it just really expands your ideas and really reminds you of what you're passionate about and what you're reaching for in life. Other ideas of this can be 1 journal prompt a day, 1 list of gratitude a day, 1 page of a spiritual book a day, 1 intention a day, whatever it is for you, you pick that, but it has to be something that you can do even when you are feeling your lowest and you have no desire to get out of bed and do anything, because it has to be something you can do every day. And that is why it's important, because it's consistency. It's not, how many things you can do. You don't have to make it a 30-minute yoga practice every single day, all that kind of stuff. 1 sentence a day is perfect. Whatever will help you show up in your best form and your best self. My next tip, and I do just want to preface this by saying these tips aren't mandatory at all, obviously. They are just what has helped me, but as I said before, spirituality isn't about material anything. It is truly about the metaphysical and the mental and the psychological journey that you take when starting your spiritual journey and embarking on this super exciting chapter of your life. So take these with a grain of salt, but these have actually helped me. So my next one, like I said, is listening to spiritual podcasts. My all-time favorite is one that I've listened to for a couple years now. If you've stuck with me for that long, you probably know what it is. It's called Your Own Magic, and I truly just love everything about this podcast. The host is named Raquel Mantra. She is amazing and beautiful and inspiring and just truly such a light. And all of her guests are so knowledgeable and bring something different to the table every single time. It's not repetitive, and it is just truly such an amazing podcast. So that's my favorite, and then I'll just list some others down below. The reason I like podcasts is because you can literally listen to it anywhere. It's not something that you have to dedicate your life to. You could just walk around and listen to a podcast, or clean your house and listen to a podcast, or have it on in the background while you're doing something. It is just such a nice way to get that information into your head without thinking too hard about it. I know that tons of people do listen to podcasts and take notes, and I've done that before, but I actually really like just absorbing the information and not having to think about what I'm gonna write. But it's completely up to you. I just like that personally. Last tip for starting your spiritual journey is spending time alone. This is such a big thing, and it's so scary to a lot of people because for so many of us, being alone means sitting with all of our sadness and all of our discontentment and all of our anxieties, right? It's a really heavy, hard thing to do, but once you sit with yourself, go inwards, spend time alone, that is when most spiritual awakenings happen, because you are doing your own work, you are doing your shadow work, and that is the hardest part of a spiritual journey, but it is the most rewarding, because once you start doing your shadow work, going inwards and understanding that everyone has shadows and light, yin and yang, what comes out of that work is amazing and life-changing. And there will always be shadows, there will always be things that are underneath that need tending to and need to grow and flourish and expand and contract and all of these beautiful, amazing things that happen in life. But it's really important to spend that time alone so that you're not relying on anyone else and you are truly grounded and centered to yourself. And that is when you will be most connected to source, when you are actually doing the work. And it's going to be tiring and exhausting and terrifying, and you'll probably never want to do it again, but you keep showing up, you keep doing the work, and I promise you it is the best feeling in the world. And the second you start going inwards and asking yourself, what do I need to work on, and truly working on that and truly working on those childhood fears and underlying traumas that you've been pushing away, your body opens up to the possibility of an expanded consciousness, and you start to be more aware of the world around you and how everything is connected, because we are all one. I truly believe that. We just need to be reminded of our roots and ground ourselves into the earth and Mama Nature and Mama Moon and the sun and just all these beautiful things, and it's just amazing. I'm super blessed to be here. That is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I really hope that you take any of these tips and you try and put them into practice, because they have truly changed my life more than I could ever say. I am so thankful, and I'm really hoping that this energy that I'm feeling right now, this positive, inspiring, loving, thankful, grateful energy transcends through the camera to you. I'm sending it to you, all my loving, positive energy. You deserve the world. You are amazing and a blessing, and you are a light in this life, and you are a light to so many people you have no idea, and your potential is just waiting to be tapped into. So I love you all so much, sending you so much love, so much strength. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you in my next video.